everyone, welcome back. My name is Exquisite Beauty MUA, also known as Jen, and today I just wanted to start off by creating a springtime look since we are still in spring. Although it feels hot as heck outside, it feels like it's already summer. I don't even want to know what it is going to be feeling like. But the palettes that I'm going to be using are the Modern Renaissance and the Prism palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love using these palettes, especially I want to lean more towards the Modern Renaissance just because it has an amazing brow bone color that I use for just about all of my looks, I would say. About 90% of them. But today I wanted to use both of these palettes in conjunction, that way I can show you a beautiful springtime look. So I'm going to be bringing you in closer, that way I can show you what brushes I'm going to use and the colors that are going to be in each palette. So let's get started. Okay, so I already primed and set my eyes. I actually already did my face makeup as well. So I used both of these colors mixed in together to set my eyes. As you can see, I already have that done. And I did use the Morphe. This is the 441 brush. And this is a dome blending brush. So next, I'm going to be dipping into the Prism palette. And I am going to be using my Morphe. This is a 443 brush. This is also a blending brush, but this is going to be a little bit smaller. That way we can get into the crease a little bit better. And that is what it looks like. So I am going to be using okay, so I am going to be using this Eden color right there, and I will probably mix it in a little bit with the Saturn color and just dusting off the excess, that way we don't have on too much color. And I like beginning on the outside, that way most of the colors sit in there, and then I will move it towards the front. And I think that everything is all about blending it in, that way all the colors will mesh well in with each other. And I'm going to be just taking some more of that Eden and Saturn because I want to get that outside in a little bit darker. Next, I'm going to be using the Morphe. This is a 324 brush, and this is the way it looks. It's just a domed angled tip brush. That way I can get my outer corners in very nicely. And I'm going to be taking that color Parallel, that way I can put it on the outer corners of my eye. Okay, so next I am going to be taking my NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer, and this is in the color Beige, and this is what I'm going to be using to cut my crease. So I am going to take a Morphe. This is the E19, and this is what I'm going to be using to cut my crease. That way we can set the next color that we're going to use. And next I am going to grab my Morphe. This is the M32. This is what I like using to pack on colors when I'm doing a look like this where I'm cutting my crease. So I am going to be taking Sphere in the Prism palette. That's that beautiful yellow color that you see right there. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna get a good amount, but make sure I still dust it off. That way I don't get too much color on my eye and then fallout too, because I already have my face makeup done and I don't want to get yellow fallout on that. So we're just going to pack it and then build it up to the intensity that I want to get it. And next I am going to taking a fluffy blending brush. This is the Morphe M505 and I'm just going to be using this brush to clean up the areas right up here because I did get some concealer on there when I was trying to do the cut crease. And I will take this brush and blend in that area. That way you can't see the concealer, and I could actually at the same time blend in all those colors in together. And again, I'm going to be taking that same Morphe, the 324, that's the dome angled brush, and the color Parallel. That way I can bring back in that color in the outer V that we were doing before. And I will still like the yellow to peek through, and sometimes I'll just go back again if I don't like how it looks on the outside. And sometimes your finger is the one that works the best to blend in, and I will do that until I get it to where I like. Okay, so I finished off my other eye off camera the same way I basically did this eye over here. I did use a little bit more orange on this side, which that's what I actually wanted to do. It did come off a little bit brown on this side, so I did go back in with that Eden and Saturn a little bit to kind of bring the orange back in. So now I'm going to be taking my E.L.F. This does not have a number on it, it's just called a smudge brush, and I will use this one, or I will sometimes also use my Morphe. It's a very small detailed brush. It's an M508, and I will just show them to you side by side just so you can see what the difference is between the two. I use them depending on how much of my brow bone I do want to highlight, if I want to get something a little thicker or something maybe a little bit more defined depending on the look I'm going for, or whichever one I find first sometimes. So I am going to take the Tempera color that's in the Modern Renaissance palette, and that's the one that I mainly use to highlight my brow bone area. And that is that color right there. As you can see, I'm almost hitting pan on that color. I absolutely love it to highlight my brow bone. Now, it does tend to come off sometimes a little bit too light for me, so what I will do is just grab my ring finger and blend that in a little bit, that way it doesn't look so strong. And I will do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so next I am going to be doing a eyeliner. I'm going to be doing it off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so I am done with my eyeliner. I did the best I could. Sometimes they look alike, sometimes they don't. It is what it is. So next I'm going to be taking my SmashBox Always Sharp Waterproof Kohl liner, and this one is in Raven. It's one of my current favorites that I like to use to do my waterline. So let's do that. And next, let's take the Loreal Voluminous Carbon Black and let's use that as our mascara. I probably need to get this mascara replaced, but when it starts clumping out a little bit like this, where the hairs start getting together, I will take the spoolie end on my Colourpop brow pencil and I will just use that to kind of separate the hairs as best as I can. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but the eyes look very beautiful, so we're just gonna not worry about that. And last but not least, I'm going to be taking the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte, and this is the mini and it's in Muse. And I am just going to douse myself in the SmashBox Photo Finishing Primer water just so I can set everything together and complete the look. So this completes the look. I think that it came out very beautifully. I have used the yellow a couple of times, and the first time I used it, it was out of my comfort zone. I think I used it like a couple of months ago when I first got the Prism palette. I think I used it in January and I absolutely loved it, especially how it's not something I use all the time, but when I used it for the first time and I saw that yellow and that pop of color, I absolutely loved it. It uses the yellow tone, which is perfect for spring, and I absolutely love the way it looked. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this look, and just leave a thumbs up if you like this look. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And remember, always be thankful and always be grateful, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye!